Hey y'all, welcome back to season 3 of With the Waves, or trying to go with the waves. Now, I'm gonna be honest. So, going into I recorded this episode a week ago. Not the vibe. Mentally, I wasn't there because I was in a rut. I'll be honest. Yes, I was talking to my friends. I was doing everything that I told myself I should do to get myself out of this rut. But I just could not, for the life of me, get out of the rut. And even if you will ask my mother, she literally was like, "Are you okay?" I would sleep until 11:30 and I would not get out of my bed for 2-3 days in a row. Now that may not seem like a lot, but to me, I was also okay, girl, get up, what are we doing? I was babying myself. I was like, okay, what's wrong? Come on, let's go. Don't know if that's TMI, but I'm trying to be honest with y'all. And it was kind of funny because I got out of that rut after I went to a hot yoga class. Or not even hot yoga, it was a hot core quad. I was dead. I literally had to get out of the room 3 times because it was so hot in there. But I went and I literally came out of that class I want to do this every week. It's amazing. So going forward, I will be doing that for my own mental. It was a weird 3 days, but we're back, and that's why we are trying to go with the waves. Little life update. I have been graduated for 6 months now, but if we're being realistic, I am now unemployed. I don't have my internship anymore. And I've moved back home. As we can tell, there's a new setup. I used to never be this close to my bed, but now we are. I do also have the other chair, but homegirls, there's no person here, so we're just gonna keep it between us, you know what I'm saying? Just you and me. But going into that, the thing is, going with season 3, I really enjoyed season 1 on how it was just me and the camera. I really enjoyed talking to the camera and working out my issues, and I did enjoy season 2 as well. But I think season 3 is gonna help me. For example, my idea for season 3 is trying to go with the waves. We are trying to adult. We are trying to figure this out, and I really enjoy just it being me, myself, and I. Don't get me wrong though, if the time comes where I don't know, I just want to interview someone, lo and behold, I will have an interview in season 3. But with that being said, I don't really necessarily want that to be my whole thing. I don't want to be every week, okay, here it is, here's another one. I did enjoy it so much. I got closer with so many people, but I also did enjoy learning how people got to the way they are and stuff like that. But for now, it's just going to be you and me for a while. And another thing is, I do want it to just be for example, for season 2, I was posting every week. And for season 1, I was also posting every week. That was really, really hard, especially for season 2 when I had to start involving the camera. And that was just me because I wanted to start challenging myself. I wanted to just be all right, we got the audio down, let's hit up the camera. And now I have both semi down. Y'all let me know how the audio is, because that season 2, that was the biggest fight. It was really, really bad. So for season 3, I will just start dropping every 2 weeks. So bi-weekly, I will drop this episode, and then I will then drop another episode after 2 weeks, just to give myself some time to breathe and actually enjoy the process. Because I feel when I did do it every week, I was it was starting to become more of just a hustle, not even a hustle, just draining. And I don't want it to be like that. I enjoy talking to the camera, so it's let's not ruin it for me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so going back, I am looking for jobs. I'm applying both in and out of state for a lot of things. I definitely want to get more into the media aspect of things. Do I only have a background in marketing? Yes. Well, not really. I'm doing this, obviously, and so I hope that this would help me achieve my biggest dreams of either being, I don't even know, somewhere in the media. Just, that would be my dream. Okay, more life updates. So this past summer, I've done quite a lot, actually. I went to Europe San Francisco, and the travels are not ending. I am going to California, I think. I don't know if that's still up in the air. I'll let you know. And I will be heading to New York, which is super exciting. And I really do want traveling to be my number one. Like, I want to travel with my job. So I hope that continues, especially when I do get a full-time job. And that's why I am looking in like tourism or like event planning, like travel event planning, or like something where if I do end up in marketing, I get to travel with that. And that would be so, like, just a travel agency. I would love that. Anyways, long story short, in Europe, I cannot tell you how important I think it is to travel the world. When I tell you my mindset has switched so much because I did that trip with not only my 3 best friends, but for that month I grew with them, I grew myself, and I just like learned a lot about like the world and how like we truly are so small. Like, it is so not serious. And that's why I'm having such a hard time kind of like figuring out what step I want to take, because to me, I'm trying not to take life seriously to the point where the stupidest things, you know, get me going in the sense of like stress and anxiety and like just anger. And so I remind myself, I'm like, hey, this is like the life you live. Like, you need to start enjoying it. You need to start letting yourself just not necessarily like thinking, oh my God, like this one thing happened, it's the end of the world. Because it's not. And if it is, I don't know what to tell you. Like, for example, when we were traveling, it was my favorite part of the whole trip. I am not gonna lie. Like, that shit was my favorite. So we went from Europe, or no, let me backtrack. We went from London to Amsterdam in a Eurostar like train, in an international train basically. It was the greatest thing. I recommend paying the extra like $30 for first class. It was amazing. We all were in different trains or carts, which was really nice, just to like, because we were with each other 24/7, like the girls that I was with, the besties. And so basically we had like 4 hours to ourselves, and it was just amazing. They gave us food. Like, it was relaxing. Like, it was the best time of my life. I like, if I could go back and just do that part of Europe, I would. Like, it was amazing. And so we then got to the point of the like train ride where we passed through the French countryside, and when I tell you, I just like sat there playing my like instrumental music, because who am I if I don't like play like I'm the main character in a movie, and like I'm like my life is changing, you know? Like, obviously if my life is gonna have events that make me either like laugh, cry, all that jazz, I will be having music in the background. I will act like it's a movie, because if not, then like what's the point of it all? You know what I'm saying? I am the main character. I'll get back to you on that though. I have to share something about that whole mentality of main characterness, if that makes sense. So anyways, long story short, we were just passing through the French countryside, and I see like the houses, and I'm just like, wow, we're like passing all these houses of like people who like, they probably do, like there was electricity lines and stuff like that, but I just thought to myself, I'm like, they are probably not giving a single ounce or any sort of like, it just made me realize like you are so, like there are so many people in the world, and there are so many people going through so many different things, and I just thought to myself, like, why do I care so much? Actually, one thing I learned about myself in that trip is I think so much in the broader scheme of things. Like, I think so much about like the future, and I think so much about like what my life is going to look like what my career, my future, like if I have a family, if I get married, like please, like I'm wondering like if that's going to happen. And I wonder if like if I make these certain decisions, like is it going to alter my direction in life? But I've realized like I do not think up in the head in the moment of things, like if that makes sense. Like I've realized like, oh, a shawty needs to think before she speaks, and not in a bad way, but it's just like we were chirping before we were like realizing what we were saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know when like you say some things and it's like that could have just stuck in your head, like so we could have like not dealt with these certain chain of events, you know what I mean? I've realized that that's me. Like, I just say things and my mind or my mouth speaks faster than my mind. And one thing I like about this podcast is that's why it helps. Like, I have to think about what I say. Yes, I'm editing this up and I'm like, I could really take some things out if I need to, but I do like sit back for a second and I'm like, what did I mean by this? What am I really saying? Is it necessary to say it? That's one thing I've realized from this trip. But yeah, it's just like that's why when I'm going to find a job and I'm like trying to really just sit down and like let myself like enjoy life, like I just think to myself, like, a month ago I was in a different continent. A month ago I was like going on to a different country every 3 days. Like, it makes no sense. Another thing I realized was how in Europe, they are a really slow moving. Like, they take their time, they enjoy their breaks, they, like, for example, like in restaurants, they don't really rush. Like, they don't need to work their ass off to get extra tips. They get paid a reasonable, like, wage. And don't get me wrong, all these countries have, like, their own problems. Like, when we met people from certain countries, like in Amsterdam or Italy, they're talking about, like, their politicians, and they're like, yeah, like, this is happening, and this might happen. And I was like, oh, shit, like, I thought America was the only twisted one. No, everyone's got problems. But it also made me realize, like, when I was in Europe, I was like, la-di-da-di-da, like, I wasn't giving a shit about anything. And then I got to come back and I was like, reality hit. And it's just like the way that America is like working us, like turmoil, like the wheel keeps turning, and it's not in a good way. Like, you're losing, like, it's like you need an oil change and you're not, and so your car breaks down. Like, that is what America feels like, because you never have time to just like chillax. And when you do, like, I'm talking about now, like the 14 PTO days, like, yes, you could take more time off without the pay, but I fear that is not okay. Like, why are we taking the time out of our day working 9 to 5? God forbid, that's the worst. Unless it's fun. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I was thinking to myself, I was like, if I could work a job that I truly enjoyed for 12-hour shifts, I would. But a 9 to 5 desk job where I sit down and I'm just like looking at the screen for that amount of time, it really stresses me out. Like, I just don't want to sit. Okay, riddle me this. Life is kind of interesting to me. Like, I really do think deep about the aspect of life. So you're born, you go through school. Elementary school is crazy. Like, you're just really getting your feet into the door. Middle school, you're kind of like going through probably puberty. That's when things change. High school is even worse. Like, you think your life's gonna end because you're literally a 17-year-old. Maybe your parents are strict. Like, you don't know what's going on, and like, you think high school is where it ends. And then you get to college and you're like, you truly change, because you're like, wow, there's more to life than just like your hometown. And then college ends and you're just like, okay, now I need a job. Ooh. No jobs are hiring. Riddle me that. So now I'm kind of like sitting here and I'm just like, okay. When I went through school, I thought I hated like routine. I was like, I need things to change. Like, I hate routine. Like, I need myself to like do something different every day, whatever. And then I realized after these past 2 months, I think a routine keeps me sane. When I got up, I was like, or when I would get up, like the first couple of days, like this is when I like fully moved out of the house. Actually, I guess I didn't move out of my like college home until about a month ago, or not even, probably a couple of weeks ago. Maybe I'm being dramatic, but who am I to not be dramatic? Like I'd say about a month ago, I've realized like I need routine. Like, I need something to do in order to get up. And for me, that's really sad, because I feel like I need to have something in order to get up, or else I won't get up until like 11. And that's not late. Actually, I can't be fake. That is so, I feel lazy waking up at 11. I'm like, my whole day's gone. Because realistically, like, when I wake up, I need to be able to just like rot in bed for a good 30 minutes, and then I can get up and start doing my thing. So realistically, I don't get out of bed till 11:30, 11:40. Mind you, 12. here's a day in my life. I get up recently because I've had a life-altering hot workout that really brought me back to life. I really don't know why, but it just did. What I do now is I get up around like 9. I get out of bed by 9:30. I'm like, okay, let's go. Sometimes I hit up the gym. Sometimes I don't. It's looking like I'm going to cancel my membership because I now have a treadmill in my room. It's like probably 20 years old, but it's in here. I was going to get rid of it. And then yesterday, I was like, I was watching Love Island because I need to catch up, and a homegirl needs to watch a reunion with some gal, we got to get it going. So I was like, let me just watch it. And then I felt lazy, like sitting here and just like watching it. So I was like, let me just get on the treadmill. Guess how many miles I walked? 5 miles on the treadmill, just watching Love Island. That was 3 episodes. I walked like an hour and 40 minutes. I walked 5 miles. And I was like, and I think personally for me, like walking is a better workout for me than like lifting weights. And I really think like, oh my God, let me tell you a funny story. I was at the gym the other day, and I used to pay the 23 like mid-level one where I get to go to multiple gyms. I go to EOS, whatever. And then I come to the realization, I was like, I don't need the 23 when I'm not going anywhere else. Like I'm just going to stick into my hometown. Like I don't need to do anything. Tell me why they were going to charge me $49.99 if I wasn't here for more than 6 months, like at that gym. They're going to charge me $49.99 to start paying $10. And then I was like, okay, hypothetically, like if I wanted to like bring it back up to the mid-level, like mid-tier one, like the blue, how much would I have to pay? He's like, oh, whenever you want to like upgrade, you don't have to pay. Anyways, if you don't see my waist in the next couple weeks, it's because I'm watching Love Island and walking 5 miles a day. Just kidding. I love that trend though. It's my favorite. Anyways. What does I want? See, I just like let my thoughts go with this podcast. It's my favorite thing ever. You get back to America and you're just like, wow. Like why do I feel like I have to rush and like find a job and do all that and just like have to genuinely like you just get pushed into the corporate world. And personally to me, I just can't fathom sitting at a desk. Like, yes, I would love, you really have to think about this. Do you want to push yourself and work maybe weekends and holidays, but it pays off in like a couple years? Or do you want to work that 9-to-5 hybrid job and enjoy your time and just like chill? That's where I'm at right now. And it's really like bugging me because I do enjoy the hybrid, like work from home 2 days a week. I'm seeing my sister do it. She like wakes up like at the time she needs to be up, and she's just home and like working and doing the damn thing and getting paid her salary, which is nice. Like if I stay in Arizona and I just like allow myself to just do the hybrid, or even I guess anywhere else, I don't know. I think I just need to get out of Arizona, because to me, Arizona is somewhere where you can settle down and just chill and like allow yourself to, I don't know, not like really like bust. I don't know. Like I just feel like Arizona is like where you can chillax and like have a family. And like to me, like I need to get out of here before I become too comfortable, especially living at home. This right here is a luxury. I will say it. I think this being my worst, quote unquote, worst possible outcome, this is the best possible outcome. Like for now. Like I enjoy like waking up, like it's a full household right now. Like we got the whole family out here. Is it humbling? I don't think so. I don't think it needs to be. I think in my head it was humbling at first, because I was just like, wow, I went through all that schooling. And one, let me tell you something else. I'm going off the script real quick. The way that funny story, I think we all know this because I feel like I've repeated this multiple times. Going into college, I wanted to do film and production. But I've heard there was voices around me being like, you know what, like, I don't think that's really smart. Like, you're going to have a really hard time finding a job afterwards. Okay, I genuinely didn't know that journalism was going to have the hardest job market to get into. Not even journalism, any job market. I feel like marketing, journalism, or anything in between was going to be hard to get. So here I am with a journalism degree, not knowing what the heck I wanted to do at all within that journalism degree. There's 3 outlets. You can do broadcast, print, audio, something else, OPR, communications. I be telling people that I have a multimedia emphasis, which I do. Like, yes, I learned through my time at Cronkite, but I genuinely think I taught myself more when I actually did want to teach myself. You can't change the way people think until they want to change themselves. Like, yes, you can have like an input on like the way other people like live their life, but they genuinely won't change until they have a realization in their head, and then they'll be like, oh my gosh, like this is what happened, whatever. And that could have been from someone, so it could have had like an everlasting effect on them, but realistically, like, no one will change until they themselves want to change. Like, I'm just sitting here waiting. Like, yes, I believe like hard work pays off 100%. Don't even get me wrong. Like, that's why most people get the opportunity they do. But then there's other people I watch, especially with social media and especially with like just like the internet nowadays and like media in general. When I see people live the life they live, it's 100% luck. Like, yes, I think they're able to achieve where they are in life now, but it's because they got that 1 ounce of luck that they took and skyrocketed with. And I will forever live by that. Like, I think like whenever someone gets the opportunity and they just jump off with it, they're set. But then there are other people that 100% like deserve what they received and like are going in full throttle as well. So that's why I'm just gonna like sit here and enjoy the time I have, genuinely like doing nothing. Like, yes, I like am doing this, I'm applying for jobs, I'm like at it all day every day. Like, I'm not just sitting here like actually not taking what I have and like using it. It's just like I'm going to enjoy, like, I can wake up at whatever time. I can literally basically do whatever I want right now in this moment, because I don't have like a contract of any sort, like 9 to 5, or I don't have to work right now, but I am looking for a part-time job. Tell me why they aren't hiring either. Tell me why they aren't. That's another story for another time, but that's also another thing. I think the job market's just BS. I think that it's genuinely like no one is being lucky right now. Like, I've been seeing so many TikToks being like finding a job in 2024, and it's like, I don't even remember applying to this job. Like, they just apply to apply. And tell me why I did that. Tell me why I did that the other day with Nectar. I just walked into, or not even the other day, it was like, I don't remember when I walked in. Anyways, I walked into Nectar and I was like, I went to go get a green smoothie and it said that they were hiring, and I was just like, basically, I just wanted a call back. I just wanted a text back. I feel like I'm being ghosted by the job market. That's how I feel nowadays. Do you see my mouth? I feel like I'm being ghosted by the job market. Never been in a relationship before. Never. But I feel like this is how it would feel like if I was in a situationship. I feel like I'd be ghosted, and I just want to give the wrong people attention just to get attention. I fear that's what it's come to. So anyways, story time. I went into Nectar and I was like, let me get a green juice, because again, after that hot yoga, or I don't even know what it was. It was a hot core power thing, whatever, I don't know. Core input, I don't even know. But anyways, that happened, and I was like, the next morning I went to the gym, and right next to my gym I have a Nectar, and I was like, let me just go in and get a green juice. And I go in and it says hiring in big red letters, and I was like, perfect, like, might as well. Mind you, I recently found out my resume could do better, and I fixed it. I revised it, all that jazz. It looks great now. Anyways, I get a text from the Nectar GM. Let me tell you what it says. I think this is so funny, actually. She says, hey, hold on. Hello, Gianna. My name is blank. I'm the GM at Nectar. That's the plant location. I have just reviewed your resume and would like to move forward. Before that, we are currently hiring based on availability. Would you what would you say your availability is? Mind you, this whole text is in lowercase. It's giving this girl is younger than me. And I cannot even fathom working for someone that's younger than me. Like, I just can't. I also realize their pay, and I just cannot be working in that cent for more than 14 hours. So, or just more, like, I just couldn't work for that. So, I am still looking for a job. I am still looking for a restaurant job. I will be looking in, too. But yeah, that's something else that I wanted to share. But yeah, so I just wanted to do this podcast or just do this first episode as like a jump back in, because we haven't been here in a while. It's been a couple months. I wanted to just, it's been 2 months, I think. But I just wanted to say hello again, that we're not leaving. Because funny story, I was going to make this the goodbye episode. I was going to be like, hey, it was amazing while it lasted, but hasta luego, you know what I'm saying? Like, see you another time, another lifetime. And then I thought to myself, like, that wasn't the plan. That wasn't the plan from the start. What was the plan from the start? Just to go with the waves. Just to take life as it goes. And I did this to show myself I can commit to it. And what would that mean if I didn't commit? What would that mean if I said goodbye? That means I didn't commit. I'm not committing as much as I told myself I would. So here we are to stay for I don't know how long. But genuinely, I enjoy my time here. I enjoy my time sitting. I enjoy my time literally just talking to the camera to myself, because I feel like, yes, people will be seeing this. But at the same time, I find peace in just like talking into the camera, and whoever wants to listen will. But long story short, I'm here to stay. I am glad to say that I did kind of change up the name a little bit, because we're like trying to go with the waves, because we're like trying to adult. And so yeah, I kind of didn't even finish like what season 3 was about. We're kind of going with the waves. Like, we're trying to figure out, we're growing together. We're trying to figure out like what's happening, like why we're moving and grooving the way we are. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically the moral of season 3, is just like guess together in a sense. It'll make more sense as like the episodes come out, but that's all I'm giving you. As we go forward, I want to put out into the world like a couple things I want to envision in my future, because I like to be held accountable by other people, because I fear if I keep it to myself, I will never actually grow. And that's why I always speak upon things, because I will never actually do it unless someone's like, hey, you said this, and I'm like, fuck, you got me there. I guess I don't want to be held accountable for these things, but I just want to like start believing in myself and having faith in myself, because, for example, there's days where I like want to get up and I want to go to the gym, and I don't get up and I don't go to the gym. And so then your mind, this is actually like a scientific fact, your mind loses trust in yourself. Like, you lose trust in yourself. And so like when you tell yourself you're going to do this again and you don't, you continue to fall down a deeper hole, and then this allows you to not be the best version of yourself, and you don't want to get up and do the things that you told yourself you were going to do, which I find very, very scary, because I don't want to end up just like not doing anything and just sitting and waiting for it to happen, because you can't just get what you want without doing, like, working for it, basically. So I basically want to just start having faith in myself and allowing myself to realize it's going to be okay. Oprah Winfrey didn't get famous until she was 40 or 50. I forget. But it just really, I really need to like set it in my head. Like, yes, have that main character mentality. Understand that you are the main character in your story, but you aren't the main character in everyone's story. Because if you were the main character in everyone's story, why are we all living? That sounded biblical. I actually don't know why I said it that way, but more of the story is like, yes, you need to envision your life the way you want to envision it, with your characters, with your setting, with your plot, climax, resolution, all that jazz. Because if you don't, life is boring. That's why I think it's important to envision your life as a movie or as a book or any, like a game. Because when you start, for me, like if I envision my life like a movie or like a game or I've said this before, please, but it really makes me like have fun in life, because then I'm like I do it a lot when I go out, because if I don't, then I'm like, oh boo, this is boring. I'm always like, whenever I go out, I'm like, okay, how can I add a new character into my story? Or I'm like, okay, how can I switch up the time? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always like think to myself, like, how can I really switch this around? So I encourage everyone else to live that way, in the sense of like, don't take life too seriously and change up the plot a little bit. Because if you don't, it's going to be a boring book. Imagine sitting in your bed for all 5 chapters. Boring. Imagine opening a book and it's like, Sally is sitting on her bed waiting for life to change. And sometimes in that book it says, oh my God, someone rang on her doorstep. Again, some people are lucky. I don't know what to tell you, but again, I'm just saying, like, life works in mysterious ways and I will never understand it. And that's why you just gotta go with the waves. Someone put that on a t-shirt. I'm just playing. If I had the money, I would. I'm just kidding. But anyways, with that being said, have a great day. And don't forget to try to go with the waves.